So we're going to start today with opening the shoulders and doing some simple back bends for getting the chest and the shoulders open and on the back. And most of the time when we start things like this, we start with the feet, no matter what. The feet are the foundation of yoga or standing postures. So I would call this class standing tall. And so when we do that, many times we're forward, hips are forward and the shoulders are forward. So we're going to try to bring that into a more lined and standing tall state. We're going to begin by noticing the big toe ball, the ball of the foot where the big toe is, to the corners of the heel and the pinky edge of the toes. So we're going to root those down to find our foundation. So we must, when we stand, we need to stand on the four corners of the feet. From the feet, we line up all the way up the hips, through the shoulders, and up through the ears and the crown of the head. So we begin to notice that the shoulders come back and we stand tall. So the hips are level, the shoulders are level, and then we'll begin by stretching up through the fingertips and taking one wrist open, and with the elbows wide, reach one elbow up to the ceiling and one elbow down to the floor. And then inhale back up and switch sides. So one elbow to the floor and the other elbow to the ceiling as you stretch this up. So just some real gentle shoulder stretches. So we'll stretch up from the front view. Again, taking the wrist into the palm and stretching the elbow to the floor and one elbow up to the ceiling. Inhale back up and switch sides. So now we're doing elbow to the ceiling and one elbow to the floor, and just stretching it back, and inhale up and reach up and float the arms down, and again reach up and float the arms down. So we're keeping all this footwork going on, four corners of the feet, and stretching up through the hips and palms out, and again stretch up. Breathe in, get long, exhale, and float the arms down to the side. And then come to the front of the mat if you're on your yoga mat. And we're going to reach up just exactly the same way. Inhale, stretch up, and then reach back to interlace behind the back, and then just a gentle stretch open. So we're taking the heart center forward, up and open, and stretching the shoulders onto the back. And stretch everything back. Release that. Inhale up. And then gently, as you bend your knees, bow forward just to the point of comfort. So just bending forward enough to rest the hands on the hips. And then we're going to melt the heart forward. So the shoulders are back, and there's this little curl in the back, little curl in the back. So the chest is coming forward, Shoulders are reaching back. Inhale to stand up and stretch up. And exhale the hands back down to the sides. Come back to forward bend. And you can go anywhere in here. I recommend that the knees stay bent. And then just curl the back. So we're from the throat up through the crown of the head. Just curling the back down, melting the heart more forward and up. So not a big, huge pose here. We're just opening the chest, getting the shoulders on the back. Stand up straight. Inhale, stretch up. And palms down to the sides. And one more time, stretch the arms to the back. And release. Come to the front of the mat, and we're going to walk our knees back to the back of the mat. So we're on all fours. This is called tabletop pose. We're just in a neutral back. Knees are below the hips, and the arms are right below the shoulders, shoulder width apart. So these are cat-cow rolls. And what we're going to do is just drop the belly toward the floor and keep the shoulders lifting back. And then curl in as you exhale. And then inhale, curl up. And again, doing that about 3 or 4 times. Inhale, stretch up. And again, curl the back down. And drop the belly. And really reach the shoulders onto the back. And again, one more time, curl the back up. So we're getting this nice round back like our little Halloween cat going on. And then come back to neutral spine. So just let that shake out right there a little bit. Go as slow as you need to. And now we're going to come into child's pose. So now with child's pose, the knees are mat distance width apart. The toes are together, and then you just set back onto the toes and stretch the arms forward. And only go as far as you need to go. Child's pose, relax in child's pose. Inhale and exhale. And now from there, come back up to tabletop pose. And the knees are right under the hips again. And we're going to stretch the hands a little more forward so the arms are forward of the shoulders this time. So we're going to do a little modified down dog pose. If we were doing dog pose, it would be up on our toes. But we're going to do a modified dog pose. So we're going to be on the knees and just stretch the arms forward because we can focus a little more on the back when we're on our knees. So we're going to press the hands forward and just reach down. So it doesn't matter how far you go, whether it's just midway or further or all the way to the floor. Anywhere in there is perfectly fine. The focus is to keep the shoulders lifted and the heart reaching more toward the floor and toward the knees. So just a little modified dog pose. It's actually called puppy pose, This is puppy pose. And inhale, come back up. And we're going to come into a belly down back bend. So we're going to go all the way down to the belly. And we're going to reach our arms forward and do spider claws. So the hands are up, the forehead can be down, and the fingertips are up. So we're just lifting the shoulders up off the floor here. Breathe. And then release those down. And then bring the hands to make a little pillow for your head. And just resting from one side to the other side. Just a brief little moment in a relaxed pose, just to rest out for a moment. And then after that, we're going to do what's called a Sphinx pose. So it's very subtle, but the effects of this pose are very beneficial, very astronomical to the body. So the point here is to line up the shoulders just right in front, the shoulders, the arm goes forward, the hands are forward, just like that. So we're melting the heart forward and curling the back up. So we're hugging in the arms and back. If you can imagine dragging them back just a little bit to get the shoulders onto the back. So Sphinx pose. Release that, and then I will do it from the behind pose, just the same exact pose, just looking at it from the back point of view. So the hands are exactly the same, the feet are extended out, and the arms are down. So we're pulling forward and curling from the back of the spine up through the crown of the head, through the throat. So breathing there. Just holding this as long as it feels good. Very accessible pose, but with extreme benefits on that. So breathe in now. And release that down and rest your head from one side. Inhale big, exhale. And then turn your head the other way. Big inhale and exhale. And after that, we're going to press up. And then just come back up to hands and knees. And turn over on the honey for seated pose. So now we're going to go into a belly up back bend. That was a belly down back bend. So the principles are the same. We're going to lie down on the back, and we're going to keep the shoulders reaching to the back body, the back plane. They're going to be on the floor, on the mat. So they're going to descend down, but I want to encourage the curve of the neck. So the back of the head is going to be on the floor, and the shoulders are going to be down, but you're going to keep a curve in the neck. so that you could reach your hand through there. So no flattening out like that. It's chin up, shoulders back. Now when it comes to the feet, again, we're planting the feet right at the edge of the mat. And the legs are going to be just slightly open. So this is bridge pose. So you want to reach the shoulders back. The heart is melting forward. So we're still standing on the feet. We're going to stand on them. The hands can be just right by your side. That's usually the most comfortable place for them. They can be up what I call cactus arms. Some people refer to it as field goal arms. Cactus arms are good. But just down by your side is an excellent place to start with this. So then we're going to press into the feet. So the first part of this is to have the hands down if they're by your side and gently lift the hips up. So then we're going to scoot the shoulders in just a little bit. Keep that curve in the back of the neck. Heart is lifting forward. This is a bridge pose. Feels amazing to the body, stretches the spine, the legs. And then just gently take the hips back down to the floor. And we'll do that one more time. Lift up, so just pressing through the feet, stand on the feet, and lift the heart up and open, keeping the shoulders down to the floor. Inhale, exhale. And release that back down. So then we like to do a little twist after some back bends just to neutralize back out the spine. So windshield wipers are just an excellent feel-good choice here. So just gently rock from side to side. And just release that out of your back, keeping the shoulders back. And then roll gently over to one side. Use both hands for support to come back up to seated position. And legs can be just in a simple seated position, or you can be on a blanket if you rather do that. And inhale, exhale big, and interlace the fingers, stretch them forward. Release, stretch up, and reach up. Release that down. One hand over, bend the elbow, reach up. Other side, reach up. Release. And one more time to the back. Stretch back, lift up. Shoulders are nice and open, melt the heart forward. And release that. And just in case you ever want to do modified down dog on the wall. We'll finish up with that. And just put your hands on the wall, and just like we were doing that modified puppy on the floor, you can just release out, press against the wall, and lift the shoulder blades toward the ceiling and melt the heart down toward the floor. It's a very simple way of getting the shoulders on the back without any pressure whatsoever on your arms. Inhale to come back up. And we'll finish out with big inhale and exhale. Bring your palms together. On the exhale, bow in. Namaste. Thank you for trusting me with your time.